Things that are hard sometimes in life is understanding that's all being in between. Where you are and where you want to be is the choice to step up. It's not luck. It's not the time, and it's not even skill. It's you now. Choice that you are worth trying to reach for more. It's not time to wait for the world to end. To give you the best moment. The Stoics also thought this way. What Epictetus taught us that we can't handle outside events, but we have power, how we answer. And today, what are we going to talk about? One of the strongest. What answers you can have thinking right now to show that you're the best. Let's be honest. We all have worries. That little word telling you inside your head, not yet, or you're not good enough. But what if I told you that you don't need to wait until you're ready? You really do become the best. And not by waiting when the conditions are right, but by being there with this in mind, that you already have what it takes. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, they would remind themselves every day to think about what they could manage and to do good things, no matter what. It's about taking the power. You have now, even if the way forward seems unclear. So in today's show, we're going to talk about the mind. That could get very different, how you plan to reach your goals, problems you face, and your everyday life. Don't act like this isn't real. To not be who you are. It's about taking steps to the best of your ability. Stay tuned because we're going to look into how to act like you're the best. Not just a change in how you think, but the key to getting in everything you've worked so hard for. Thus, if you value what we're doing right now, I need a small request from you. Is to click the subscribe button. It helps a lot and is free. Help the service out. Now let's begin. What it takes to choose to be the best. The moment you choose to reach your full potential, now is the time. Things start to change in your life. There's no need to wait. Wait for the right chance or hoping for outside. Things will get better. It's about making a private choice. A choice to be there every day, being the best person you can be. This idea is similar to what was taught of the Stoics, who think our real power depends on what we pick. To look at life, what Epictetus said, it's not what takes place with you, what matters is how you handle it. The choice to be the best starts with that attitude. This attitude isn't about being ideal or better than other people. For yourself, it's about setting a goal and a promise of ongoing growth. The Stoics knew this very well. Julius Caesar, one of the strongest rulers in history, always reminded himself to do good things, not for praise or glory, but since it was the right thing to do. He thought that every day there was a chance to try to be the best, not competing with other people. On the other hand, with what he could do. If you want to be the best, you're not telling you'll always get it right, or deal with problems. That was clear to the Stoics that going through life is hard, but they also think they face these problems, what make us who we are, because they want to be the best. You choose to deal with them. Face problems head on, taking advantage of them to get smarter and stronger. This is where your life beginning to change. There's no need to wait, just the right time. Now is the time to make a choice. Right now, to act with confidence and a plan because of this move. Everything else goes smoothly. You need to raise your goals. What you do fits with your goals. And get closer to the person you know you can be. That's the power you choose to be the best. Why it's important to act like you're the best. When I say do something like you're the best, I do not mean walking around cocky, like you're greater than everyone else, not at all. Being cocky like you're the best isn't about putting other people down or becoming cocky. It's about being strong. To the highest level possible and always trying to do their best, not for outside approval, but to help you grow. That's why I say, show that you're the best. It has to do with getting the way someone thinks who is already at their best. Imagine you're the best athlete in the world, or a skilled worker. There is no pride in the trust they. It is calm, sure, and built on years of hard work, focus, and always getting better. Think about what Marcus Aurelius did. brought himself as a boss. He couldn't see himself as good as or better than others. He learnt from life, he thought, always at work to get better and do good things. We want people to think like this. Being cocky like you're the best isn't about acting like to know everything or never getting it wrong. It's about getting there with the thought that you are fully able to handle no matter what comes your way. This idea affects what you do. When you think you're the best, you act like it. You take pride in how you look, and people pay attention. They would remind us of the Stoics that this trust comes from inside. That's inside, because they know the way you live is in alignment based on your goals and doing your very best always and everywhere. The main difference, it is that pride wants to make you better than others, but you act like you're the best, is about getting better. To the best of your ability, it's about trying to be the best, keeping your cool and staying humble like the Stoics said. You're not trying to be perfect, but for growth, you should always work on yourself. Never stop learning and always moving forward. What if I'm not the best? Thoughts from some of you. I'm not the best though. I'm not even close. How can I act like I am? And that makes perfect sense. It's okay to feel that way, feel like you're not on top. But here's the thing. You don't need to be the best. To be the best, it's beautiful to think this way is that it works even if you're not on top. Being like you're the best does not mean acting being crazy or deluded. It's about changing the way you think to get the most out of yourself that starts with how you see yourself. This fits in nicely with Stoicism. The Stoics think that we have power over how we think and what we do about it to the difficulties of life, so don't worry if you're not feeling great right now. You can still pick to smile and be sure of yourself. Focus and a goal. The traits that best describe when you think you're the best. There's the start of something big. You start to believe it. And if you believe it, you start to become it. It's not a magic trick, faulty thinking or false confidence. It's a known change in the mind that changes what you do. We learnt from the Stoics that what we believe affects how we act and what we do, like we're strong and skilled. We become more of. This is a prediction that comes true, something the Stoics knew all about. Think about a job interview. If you walk in scared, not trusting yourself, you feel like you're not good enough. You're probably going to do badly. But if you go in with the mind that you're the best person for the job, having confidence in yourself, making it clear about your skills and having faith in your worth, that changes everything. Even if the job doesn't go to you, that change in thought gets you ready. Look forward to the next chance you've worked on your confidence and made people stronger, which will help you in the future. That's why when you tell yourself, I'm not the best, the Stoics would make you think of, that's not the point. It's important to act like you are. You raise yourself by doing that. You line up what you do with the person you want to turn into. It's not important to be perfect, but to always keep trying for high quality, always getting better. The Stoic way of thinking tells us, growth all the time. The Stoics thought in how important it is to keep growing, which is exactly how to think in this way. Being like you're the best does not mean you believe that you have reached greatness, or that you can stop getting better. In fact, the reverse is true. It's about making a life promise of always learning, hard work, and improvement. As the Stoic scholar Seneca put it, as long as you live, do not stop learning how to live. This means that it doesn't matter how well you do, you can always get better. The best people in every field, whether it's a skilled golfer, a business person who does well, or a smart thinker, always get better. They still learn about life. When you think you're the best, what you're committing to the same process of mastery. What you say, I'm going to carry myself in the best way possible. I'm going to do the work to get the top spot. This way of thinking comes from being humble. It's not pride. The Stoics put a high value on being humble. Julius Caesar. No matter how a man with a lot of power always reminded himself to keep your footing and keep getting better. He didn't see where he was as the road's end, but needs to do something to strive for greatness in oneself every day. When you think this way, the same thing you do today, you want to be better. today than you were yesterday, being aware that growth is a long-time goal. Making it look like you're the best means setting higher goals for yourself. Giving up means taking responsibility for the growth of yourself in every part of life when it comes to your relationships. It's about what to ask yourself. What would I do if I were my best self? What would the best partner do? The best friend, or how should the best parent act? That's not what it's about to be good enough, but about all the time trying to get better and show up. Being the best person you can be in your health, it means to act like you're in great shape of your life. What would you do to take care of your body if you thought you were able to accomplish best health? What options, what changes would you make to your diet, workout, and habits? The way of Stoicism is one of self-control and making choices on purpose that make you healthy in the long run. Practice makes things happen. When you hear the word act, like you're the best, at first, it might feel like acting. And maybe it is in some ways. But here's the truth. What you always do, practice turns into reality. The Stoics knew this very well. Seneca once famously said, "We become what we do over and over again." In that case, greatness is not an act, but a pattern. This means, the more you work on something, even if it's hope, self-control, or strength, the more a part of it of what you are. Let's break this down. When you start to act like you're the best, it might not feel right. You might believe, who am I to carry myself with so much faith? But the good things about people is that we can easily change things. The Stoics think that shapes us by what we do, and think, if you always do something sure of themselves, you start to have more faith in yourself. What if you make discipline what you do with your life over time? You learn to be more responsible. It's not about pretending all the time. It's about getting better. The traits you'd like to have until they can do them without thinking. It's kind of like getting stronger. It's hard at first to lift weights. Even feels awkward, but as you practice, you get stronger. Being as good as you think you are works the same way. For every time you do it, you keep that way of thinking, and finally, it's not as much of an act and more of a habit. The Stoics knew how this process worked. Epictetus told his kids this a lot, that we are in charge over how we deal with the world, demonstrating good behavior. We organize ourselves on the inside with that kind of person we'd like to become. Let's say you want to become more sure of themselves in social settings. At first you might feel strange. It seems like you're putting on a show. But the more you do it, standing tall, making yourself heard, and talking to other people, the more you start to feel sure of yourself. At some point, it stops feeling like an act, and you understand that you really make yourself feel better when these things happen. It's true in every part of life. If you work at it, picking healthy things to do over time, you turn into someone who naturally lives in a better way. If you work at it, taking care of your money well, you become someone in the end who is safe with their money. How the Stoics thought about being good shows us that we don't have to wait for things to change. We can make it by what we do every day. The key is to be consistent. You only have to do it once, and looking forward to a change. It's about every day being there, putting the traits into practice that help you reach your full ability. Over time, what began as practice turns into your life. You become the best person you can be by acting like it over and over, just like the Stoics said. What you do shapes who you are, and who you are shapes your life. So keep working on it, because the truth is growing because of what you do every day. Dealing with weakness. When we talk about acting like you're the best, it's simple to believe it means not caring about your flaws or acting like they don't exist. But the truth is the opposite. Being cocky like you're the best means having the guts to be honest about your flaws and use them as chances to get better. The Stoics were very good at this. They taught them to be self-aware and honest. Thought are important for improvement. As Marcus Aurelius put it, your mind is under your control, not events outside of. Understand this, and you will get strong. Some of that power is being aware of where we fail, not to be ashamed, but to grow and learn the best people in every field. Don't those who believe they are perfect. They are the ones who know what they're doing wrong better than everyone else. But they don't let their flaws define them. They use them instead as a reason to keep getting better. The Stoics thought in taking on challenges, ache and pain, because that's how life works. Epictetus told us that the way to victory forces us to deal with problems with strength. When we can clearly see our flaws, we can talk to them with an eye towards progress. Take a look at this. If you don't recognize your flaws, in fact, they don't go away. They get bigger over time, which gets worse over time. But if you remember them and do things to get better, you get stronger. They didn't think of weakness as failing. They saw a chance to do something, to carry out a ritual, which means trying to be the best. When you look at your flaws, you're giving yourself a chance to get better, much more disciplined and better able. Being humble is needed for this process. Being cocky like you're the best just because you think you're great, it means you're tied down. To growth, that never stops. You can feel sure, rely on your skills while being fully aware of what you need to do to get better. Seneca and the other Stoics wrote a lot about how important of getting something out of every situation, not even mistakes. In fact, Seneca thought that loss and setbacks are often the best teachers we have. They show us where we need to improve and push us to get better at it, or way of thinking we might not have enough. The important thing is to know your flaws, not as something to be embarrassed about, but as a normal progress in your growth by being honest with them and a drive to get better. You are in charge of your own growth. This is where real strength lies, in being able to deal with what's stopping you and working to get past it. The calm way of thinking is to see the problems in life, including the things you do wrong, as fire to make you a better person with more resilience. When you think you're the best, it's not like you're trying to be perfect. What you're really showing that you're strong to deal with your flaws, learn from them, and become the person you want to be. This attitude will help you move forward. The same thing happened to the Stoics, who were proud of their flaws, learnt from them, and kept going on their way. Strive for success. Lift up the people around you when you think you're the best. It's not just about getting better, your own life. It's about making things better for everyone around you. The Stoics thought in the idea of sympathy, the thought that we are all linked and what we do affects everything. When you want to be the best, you make other people want to do the same. Your self-control and confidence and a promise to grow naturally raise what you do with other people, whether it's in your family, your co-workers, or your friends. Feel it out. To be with someone who holds themselves with a goal and clarity, their energy makes you feel good. It's clear. But what they did, their being there. Show other people what's possible. Here's how you can persuade other people. By setting a good example. When you think you're the best, you become an inspiration for people who may be having a hard time with anxiety or self-doubt. You show them that you can get up the problems above by having the right frame of mind and paying attention on what's important. The Stoics didn't care about anything. With other people in the way, we think about it now. They thought in making other people become good and knowledge. When you set higher goals and always try to do your best, you're working out more than just yourself. You're making an atmosphere. Who were around you believe they can rise with you. Being like you're the best means having qualities that other people respect and want to be like. By taking this, you make your own life better too, but also help out to the success and growth of the people you know. A chain reaction of good things happening, very much like the Stoics would have wanted. What to do when you fail. There are times when we all fail, and the Stoics knew this very well. They taught the lesson that is not something to be scared of, but rather an unavoidable part of life's journey. It is said that Marcus Aurelius' action is sped up by the thing that stops it. What gets in the way turns into the way. To put it another way, you can be successful and fail at the same time. It's a step in the right direction. When you think you're the best, it doesn't mean you think you'll always succeed. It means that you are strong when you fail. Being aware that every failure isn't chances to learn and grow. Stoics thought that people should focus on what you can handle. You can't always decide what will happen, but you have power. How you deal with failure, instead of seeing failure as a loss for you. Think of it as feedback. What didn't work taught us and how you can do better. Epictetus told his students, which says we should expect to fail in life and use it to make us better people. Don't give up just because you failed, but a reason to keep going. Knowing more and having more experience when you know you'll fail. Thinking in a Stoic way, you stop avoiding it. Instead, you look at it as a chance, to work on being persistent and flexible. The best people in every field, whether it's business, sports, or thought, don't those who never fail? But people who can get back up. Each time it gets bigger, just like the Stoics said. Where our real strength comes from, how we get back up after falling. So the next time you fail, don't forget that the story isn't over yet. It's an important step on your way to becoming great. Being like you're the best isn't just one time. Every day, they do it. The Stoics thought in how important it is to be steady action on purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote about his thoughts and pushed himself to go up every day with a plan and a reason. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, think about what a valuable right you have, what it means to live, to think and breathe, to love and enjoy this habit of being there every day with a promise of excellence. How you get closer to becoming the best person you can be. It's beautiful to think this way. You don't have to wait until you're ready." What the Stoics knew, that waiting for the right time, which often leads to, instead, we learn to start from where we are. We can do what we have. You don't need to be great. You need to be steady. Every day, act like you're the best. You are showing the traits. Those things will finally define you over time. What began as a conscious effort becomes a part of who you are. Don't forget that this isn't about being proud or being someone you're not to trick people. It has to do with lining up your deeds, along with your potential, and always trying to do their best in everything you do. Whether it's at work, the people you know, or the growth of yourself. Being like you're the best helps you set higher goals for yourself and have a reason to live, just like the Stoics said. We decide what to do, and the things we do. Our lives are made by us. So make this way of thinking a daily habit, every morning. What would the version of me that I am this day, with that question in mind? You'll find yourself moving steadily, moving towards the life you can live one step at a time. Thanks for being a part of Sloan Journal. And if you want to keep going, this path of strength and growth. Watch one of the videos that were mentioned on your screen. Keep going, don't float. I'll see you in the next one.